What's up, you guys? It's Steve here, and they did it. President Joe Biden and that group of bipartisan lawmakers, we've received word in just the past couple hours that they actually came to an agreement, and they're going to have this done, they're saying, today. This is your stimulus check update and your stimulus package update. Now, we're seeing articles roll out like this. Take a look from Axios. Bipartisan group reaches agreement on $1.2 trillion hard infrastructure. And that is the breaking news, you guys, that they have an agreement now on the first portion of the infrastructure package, which is going to be for traditional infrastructure, aka roads, bridges, highways, things like that, traditional infrastructure like you'd think. But now they're going to be turning their attention to the second portion, which they're calling human infrastructure, or an anti-poverty package, aka more stimulus money for people. Now we're hearing that that's going to be about a $3.5 trillion package. And we're going to see what provisions get included, what amounts will be allocated, and how much money is going to be hitting your bank account. I'll be sure to keep you up to date on that. But let's take a look at some of these articles now that are rolling out, giving us information about this agreement and how this could actually get signed and done today. Here's another one. Los Angeles Times, bipartisan infrastructure deal could advance as soon as today after breakthrough in talks. And you guys, we had heard yesterday from Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer that they were going to get this done this week, and if they didn't, they should prepare to work through the weekend because he wants to get both portions of the infrastructure package done before August recess. Here's another one, and we're going to be taking a look at this one in more detail in just a second. Infrastructure agreement on major issues reached by bipartisan group of senators. So you guys, we're going to be diving into these articles. I'm going to get you caught up on the latest as to what we're hearing, and I'm going to let you know everything happening as of today, Wednesday, July 28th, 2021. But before we do, if you could do me a quick favor, just takes a second. If you like and appreciate these updates, keeping you up to date on stimulus, Congress, the economy, anything having to do with money, don't forget to take a second to ever so gently destroy that like button. I would appreciate it. Just takes a second. Really helps me out a ton. Also, leave your comments down below and share this out on social media platforms if you think it's going to help out other people. Now, also, this is your first time here. Don't forget, hit that subscribe button, turn on that notification bell, and you can come join the viewing community. Come and join the Ram fam, and I'll keep you up to date on all this stuff. And if you got any specific questions for me, be sure to shoot them to me in the DM on Instagram at SteveRam3. That is the best way to get a hold of me if you got any specific questions that you want answered. But with that being said, you guys, let's go ahead and dive right in. I'm going to get you caught up on the latest, as today we have breaking news, hearing that there has been a deal reached, and we could have this first portion of the infrastructure deal done today. All right, you guys, so link in the description below to this article that just came out a little while ago, and it says infrastructure agreement on major issues reached by bipartisan group of senators. Subtitle, Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer told lawmakers to be ready for a vote as soon as Wednesday night, that's today, on a roughly $1 trillion package. Now, the article says that a group of GOP senators said Wednesday that they had reached an agreement with Democrats on the major issues of a roughly $1 trillion infrastructure package, setting up a potential initial vote on the package within hours. So you guys, this could be happening right now. Now, Democratic aides also confirmed the agreement. Earlier, Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer told lawmakers to be ready for a vote as soon as Wednesday night to open debate on the package. A similar vote failed last Wednesday. Now, you'll recall last Wednesday, they didn't actually have a tangible bill in hand. They didn't have the legislative text. So the difference now, 1 week later, is that they actually have it ready. It says, we now have an agreement on the major issues, said Senator Rob Portman, the lead GOP negotiator of the group. He told reporters, we are prepared to move forward. Now, Mr. Portman said that he expects legislative language for the package, that it would be ready before the expected vote later Wednesday. So it sounds like they might have a couple few things that they need to finish up, though, before the vote. It says, we've got a deal, said Kirsten Sinema, a member of the bipartisan group, told reporters Wednesday. We're finishing up some language, there you go, but we've got a deal. A bipartisan group of 10 senators has been working for weeks to come to an agreement on the details of a loose framework for roughly $600 billion above the projected federal spending on roads, bridges, expanded broadband access, and more. GOP lawmakers involved in the talks said that they were confident that it would win the support of at least 10 Republicans, a key threshold to reach the 60 votes necessary to advance this deal. And as you know, right now the Senate is split 50-50, and for anything to pass through the normal means in the Senate, they have to have 60 votes. So they have to have 10 Republicans on board And what we're hearing is that there's 10 Republicans in this bipartisan group, so they might be able to push this through. Now, Mr. Portman said that the agreement was expected to include $110 billion for improvements to roads and that it would be fully paid for with sources of revenue. Now, Senator Susan Collins, she said that the legislation would include $65 billion for expanded access to affordable broadband internet, though she noted that she was still completing some details with Senator Jan Shaheen. Now, our goal is to ensure that there is far greater access to high-speed internet services, said Mrs. Collins. Now, Mr. Portman said in a late dispute over how much funding to direct to public transit has been resolved when the Democrats had accessed the latest GOP offer. Democrats were expected to meet to discuss the agreement in the early afternoon, but those in the bipartisan group said they were confident that the deal would be completed Wednesday today. I think that we're good, said Senator John Tester, a member of the bipartisan group, and he said this Wednesday, while Mr. Tester noted that he hadn't heard that every single lawmaker in the group had signed off on the deal. My understanding is we're well on our way to getting things done. Now, some of the top Democrats had recently raised concerns about the contours of the agreement, including Senator Tom Carper and Ron Wyden, each leaders of key Senate committees. Mr. Carper, the chairman of the Senate Environmental and Public Works Committee, he said that his staff and they had spent the night making his case to negotiators on the final issues. We will find out in 1 hour how we ended up, he said. So you guys, this is coming down here to the wire. Looks like it's going to be finished today. Now, reading on, it says Republicans who had blocked the Senate from beginning debate on the infrastructure package last week said they were optimistic that there would be sufficient support later Wednesday to advance. So they believe they've got those 10 votes from Republicans that they need to pass this through. It certainly seems feasible to me that there'd be enough Republican interest in proceeding and debating and amending, said Senator Kevin Cramer. The agreement capped a tumultuous, weeks-long stretch after the bipartisan group of lawmakers reached a deal with the White House in late June on a loose framework for the package. But the porousness of the deal quickly became apparent as lawmakers scrapped one of their key sources of revenue and spent days working out disputes over major policy provisions, including how much money to spend on public transit and how to administer expanded broadband access. Now, earlier this month, Mr. Schumer turned up the pressure on the group by giving them a mid-week deadline. Although the lawmakers missed the deadline, the pace of the negotiations intensified. Lawmakers had spent marathon days locked into a room with the White House officials and broke into small groups to hammer out specific provisions. So locked themselves in there to make sure that they could get it done, and now it looks like they finally have. Now, Mr. Portman said that the major issues had been resolved in the early morning hours of Wednesday. Now, reading on, in conclusion, it says, not only does the agreement pave the way to passing the $1 trillion agreement into law, it also eases the path forward for President Biden to advance much of the rest of his agenda through Congress. And they are talking about the second portion for human infrastructure, aka more stimulus. Now, top Democrats, they have tied the infrastructure efforts to a broader $3.5 trillion anti-poverty and climate change plan that Democrats hope to advance along party lines through a budget process called reconciliation. Now, Mr. Schumer has said that he wants to pass both the infrastructure bill and the budget blueprint for the 3.5 legislation in the coming weeks. So you guys, looks like this is all moving forward. We're going to be seeing this bipartisan infrastructure bill pass, and then we're going to be getting more details for the next stimulus package, and these are all coming up here right now. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Now, in addition to that, if any more details come out about that second portion of the infrastructure package, I'll be sure to let you know as well. And also for this bipartisan bill, we still don't have a whole lot of details on this yet released either. I'll be sure to keep you up to date here on the channel. And as always, you guys, thank you so much for joining me. And if you made it this far and you haven't already, don't forget, smash that like button. I would appreciate it. It helps me out a ton. Thank you so much. And also, if this is your first time here, hit that subscribe button, turn on that notification bell, come join the Ram fam, the viewing community. I'll keep you up to date on what's happening. And if you got any specific questions for me, be sure to shoot them to me in the DM on Instagram at SteveRam3. But with that being said, you guys, I'll catch you in the next one. Remember, 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, Monday through Friday. That's my regular uploads, guaranteed videos, and also random videos throughout the day as news breaks. Now, I'm a little bit later on this one. It looks like it's about 2:30 p.m. Central Standard Time right now, so I might be a little bit late on that last video, but I'll be sure to get another one up for you guys and keep you up to date. But with that being said, Take care. God bless. This is Steve.